My name's Chris Davenport. I'm a reporter from the Washington Post, and I've written a book called As You Were, To War and Back with the Black Hawk Battalion of the Virginia National Guard. What I wanted to do was really be one of the first reporters to embed not just in Iraq with the National Guard troops, but on the home front as well, to see these soldiers after they come home from war and try to reintegrate with their families and their civilian jobs and really their old lives as they come to terms with what they just went through in Iraq. The National Guard, as you may know, is our citizen soldiers, and unlike the active duty soldiers who are based on big military bases, National Guard soldiers are civilians and soldiers. So that means they can get called up from their civilian lives, leaving their jobs, their wives, their families, go to war, then come back and are cast back to their civilian lives once again. So what I think really makes this book is the characters. Craig's story illustrates some of the tensions that citizen soldiers have with their employers. He was called to go to flight school to learn how to fly helicopters and could only give his employer, he's a school teacher, 3 days' notice. And so he went in on Monday and had to tell his principal that's what was happening, and he was gone by Wednesday to go to flight school. Kate was a medic with the 224th, and as a woman probably saw more of war's horror than any other man in the unit, and was really exposed to some awful circumstances, and also had some really personal hardships happen to her while she was on her tour. You've got Miranda, who goes from being a sorority girl at William and Mary to being a door gunner in a Black Hawk helicopter. Another one of the characters in the book, his story is quite compelling. He was 58 years old when he was called to go to war. And it was something that he volunteered to do. And he had fought in Vietnam as a Huey pilot and felt that he had one more war left in him.
We're seeing a lot of the younger guys and even the middle-aged guys going to Iraq and Afghanistan. And I thought for a long time it just wasn't right that I would be required to train these soldiers and send them and myself not go. So I told my commanders that if they needed somebody to go, if they were short pilots or whatever capacity, that I would step up to the plate.
Most people are thinking about retirement. In fact, his wife, Diane, who's also a character in the book, that's precisely what she was thinking, and she was quite taken aback when her husband was called off to go to war.
When I told her, she cried because she said, you know, you're too old to go. I knew it was my duty. My country needed me. I had been a guardsman for 30-some-odd years, and when the call comes, you have to step up to the plate.
Well, this is a generation of soldiers, I think, that is somewhat invisible, because we as a society are somewhat disconnected from the military. Only 1% of the United States population serves in the armed forces today. And by and large, we're really unaffected by this war. And so to come home to reintegrate after the war can be really quite difficult and also compelling for these soldiers. And that's really the story that I wanted to tell.